Planet X is finally dead. And this was confirmed by the images taken by scientists and the strange orbit of this mysterious object around the Sun. In this orbit, this mysterious thing passes closest to the Sun in about 25,000 years. And all our scientific theories and computer simulations suggest that due to this one mysterious object, which was discovered in 2017 and announced in 2025, the existence of Planet 9, which is 10 times larger than Earth, is now in danger because of this single 850-meter diameter mysterious round object. But how? What is hidden in this mysterious object that has endangered our centuries-old belief in the existence of Planet 9? And the most shocking thing that was revealed in this whole research was that outside our solar system we found a force, a monster that has been applying its gravitational force on the planets at the edge of our solar system since the beginning of the solar system and has been changing the orbits of our planets. But who is this mysterious giant hidden outside the solar system, and how is it all connected to Planet 9 and the recently discovered mysterious object? We will find the answers to all these questions in today's episode. So hello guys, I am GK and let's start another new episode. Friends, before we move on in the video, just as you are connected with me on YouTube, I would like you to join me on Instagram as well. This is my Instagram user handle. The link is in the description box. Go and follow. It was a cold night in 1930. Clyde Tombaugh was sitting alone at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona and was repeatedly looking at the photo plates of his telescope in front of him. Here his job was to look at the movement of every small bright spot in the photos. This method was used at that time for the discovery of moons and planets in the solar system. And at that time the whole world was in search of a mysterious planet, Planet X, at the edge of the solar system, a planet about 9 times larger than Earth, which was changing the orbit of Neptune and Uranus. That too without being seen. Our entire physics, Newton's laws and mathematical equations were all giving proof of its existence. But till now none of our telescopes had seen it. But on February 18, 1930, something strange happened. After a whole night of hard work, Clyde saw a small, faint dot on the edge of the solar system, which was moving slightly in 2 different photoplates. It was neither a star nor a comet, but it was changing its position every time. When Clyde presented this discovery to the scientific community, excitement spread. The same object was named Pluto, and in the next few months it was declared the 9th planet of the solar system. Now Pluto was added to our school books. Children considered it a cute little planet and the whole world thought we had found Planet X. But after a few years, it became clear that Pluto is so small that it cannot disturb the orbit of Uranus or Neptune. Pluto was just an icy dwarf whose mass was not as much as Planet X. So does this mean that a massive super-Earth planet, 9 times larger than Earth, is still hidden somewhere in the solar system? This mystery continued for about 90 years, until 3 researchers from Princeton and the Institute for Advanced Study discovered a hidden dwarf planet in 2017. These scientists, Sehao-chun Jiaxuan Li and Veritas Yang, noticed something very strange while studying old telescope photos. A faint object that was always following the same path. This object was named 2017 OF201. Although its discovery was in 2017, its announcement was made in 2025. The object, which was detected in telescope images taken between 2011 and 2017, was not clearly visible in a telescope, but its orbit was very shocking. It travels on the boundary of the solar system from 45 astronomical units to 1600 astronomical units. This meant that when this object last passed by the Sun, humans had not even invented the telescope. This object was probably the strangest dwarf planet in the solar system, very ancient, very far, and very stable, and this stability was bothering the scientists. See, if a massive hidden planet like Planet 9 existed outside the solar system, then the orbit of 2017 of 201 would not have been stable at all. The gravity of Planet 9 would have thrown a small dwarf planet like 2017 OFTO out of the solar system or made its orbit unstable, but 2017 of 201 was confidently orbiting in its orbit. Scientists were confused. Was the stability of 2017 of 201 ending the theory of Planet 9? Now, to solve this confusion, researchers started testing the orbit of 2017 of 201 in computer simulations. But when the results came, the scientists were even more confused. 2017 of 201 was not only stable, but its orbit was also tilted in such a strange direction that it did not fit into any planet as theory. What was this after all? If Planet 9 does not exist, then how is this dwarf planet stable in such a strange orbit? And if Planet 9 exists, then how is the orbit of 2017 of 201 so unusual and unique? Scientists started thinking about a third, even more shocking possibility. Is there an unknown gravitational force on the outer edge of the solar system that we have not yet been able to see? Could it be that outside our solar system, in the deep darkness of the galaxy, an unseen force is silently controlling our entire solar system? This new question suddenly made scientists very uncomfortable. Perhaps they were looking for the answer in the wrong place all along. Their search should not be for just a hidden planet, but for that invisible force that is silently traveling throughout the galaxy and because of which the dwarf planets and icy worlds at the edge of the solar system are silently revolving in strange orbits.
So the mystery of Planet 9 was as strange as it was old. But this was not the first time that the idea of a hidden planet had come up in science, and then it turned out to be wrong. A similar situation was created in the 19th century when scientists were very worried about Mercury's orbit. At that time, too, scientists had imagined a hidden planet which was named Planet Vulcan. This planet was never found, but its imaginary gravitational effects confused scientists for many years. But when Einstein's general theory of relativity came to light, it was found that the problem of Mercury's orbit was not due to any hidden planet, but due to a wrong understanding of gravity. Strange behavior of Mercury's orbit was perfectly explained by Einstein's theory. The hidden planet Vulcan never existed. It was just the imagination of scientists which they had created to understand the incomplete data. Now the same situation was happening with Planet 9, because the truth is that sometimes even science gets trapped in an illusion. An illusion where we only see what we want to see, and the theory of Planet 9 is exactly such an illusion. This planet was never clearly seen in any telescope, but its name became popular everywhere, from physics textbooks to YouTube videos. But how did it all start? And then how did it turn out to be wrong? So the whole story begins after the discovery of Neptune and Uranus in the 19th century. When scientists mathematically simulated the orbits of these planets, it was found that their orbit is not as Newton and Einstein's theories suggest. After which mathematicians realized that the orbits of Neptune and Uranus today are stable only if some other massive planet like them is applying its gravitational force on them. But as we heard, Pluto was first considered that planet. But when scientists realized that Pluto is not that massive, then this idea became more popular that a giant planet is hidden at the edge of the solar system. This theory got more fuel during the year 2000, when many other objects found at the edge of the solar system studied because these most distant objects of the solar system, which are called extreme trans-Neptunian objects, ETNOs, were also revolving around the Sun, clustered in a specific direction in their orbits. This could only happen if a large, unseen planet was silently controlling their gravity. They named this unseen planet Planet 9. Scientists' imaginations started running wild about this planet. Computer simulations suggested that this planet could be 5 to 10 times bigger than Earth and could orbit the Sun at a distance of 200 to 1200 astronomical units, due to which it would be impossible for any of our telescopes to see it directly. Now the excitement in the scientific community grew, and there was only one question in the news headlines. Are we finally going to find the missing planet of the solar system? The theory of Planet 9 was very popular with scientists because it gave a simple answer to a complex puzzle. But in science, there is also a danger that whenever a theory is accepted, people start ignoring contradictory evidence. And this is what happened when slowly more new ETNOs were discovered. With every new discovery, that neat orbital pattern started to weaken. The orbit of some new objects was completely different, not clustered in any one direction. But even then, the idea of Planet 9 was so strongly set in people's minds that the new contradictions were just ignored. And from here, the downfall of Planet 9 begins. Some astronomers re-examined the data in an unbiased way. They noticed that the initial clustered pattern that was seen was actually due to the limited view of the telescope. That is, we were only seeing those objects that were clearly visible in the range of the telescopes and were overlooking everything else. And after the discovery of the dwarf planet 2017 of 201, the ending of the story of Planet 9 became clear. Because the orbital path of 2017 of 201 does not seem to be under the influence of any massive gravity. Whereas for Planet 9, our predicted orbit of 200 to 1200 astronomical units passes very close to it. But despite this, if this dwarf planet is orbiting at the edge of the solar system in this way, without showing any gravity influence, then it means clearly that perhaps Planet 9 was never present in the solar system. Now, one more study confirms this, in which when the orbital calculation of 2017 of 201 was simulated from the formation of the early solar system to the current age, it was also seen that this dwarf planet would never have existed if there was some other massive planet in this region of the solar system, because the simulations clearly showed that if Planet 9 really existed, it would never have allowed a small dwarf planet like 20170F201 to remain stable and would have thrown it out of the solar system within a few lakh years of the solar system's formation. But then what about Neptune, Uranus, and those trans-Neptunian objects? then why are our mathematical equations failing to explain their orbits? Why is our physics screaming and telling us that there is something that is affecting the orbits of these planets with its massive gravitational pull? Now, at this point, the scientific community was divided into two groups. One was the scientists who were still insisting that the theory of Planet 9 is valid. We just need more observations. On the other hand, there were researchers Sihao Zhang, Zizhuan Li, and Veritas Yang, who had said that if Planet 9 existed, it would be impossible for a stable orbit object like 2017 of 201 to exist. But in reality, what we found out later proved both these scientific communities wrong, and gave a new, unique explanation for the strange orbit of these planets, and the presence of 2017 of 201 in the solar system. Because in reality, the theory of Planet 9 was not wrong. It was just incomplete, and this mistake was due to our observation methods and telescope limitations, because the force that was affecting the planets of our solar system was actually not inside the solar system, but outside it, in our galaxy. So, in the field of science, the most difficult thing is to accept your mistake. When the theory of Planet 9 became doubtful, astronomers finally turned their attention from inside the solar system to outside. They started asking if this gravitational force that was confusing us was coming from somewhere outside the solar system and not inside it. Now, this new idea was shocking for the scientists, because our solar system was always considered an isolated system. But now, a completely new explanation was coming forward: galactic tidal forces. This means that the gravitational power of our entire galaxy, the Milky Way, can affect the small objects orbiting at the edge of the solar system. To understand this concept, imagine the tides of Earth's oceans. Tides in Earth's oceans are caused by the moon's gravity. The water rises and falls. But if our entire solar system were like an ocean, the galaxy's gravity could also create a subtle tide in it. This gravity is very weak and cannot affect the inner planets. But at the outer region of the solar system, small, icy objects orbiting can feel its effect noticeably. Our solar system orbits around the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This orbit takes about 225 million years to complete one full circle. During this time, our solar system has also passed through many massive regions of the galaxy. Such regions where dark matter halos, nebulae, and giant molecular clouds are present. And these massive objects are not only observable, but their gravity is also very strong, which silently influences the orbits of icy objects and dwarf planets orbiting in the outermost part of the solar system. And as I told you, this gravitational pull does not affect the inner planets like Earth or Mars at all, because they are very close to the Sun's strong gravity. But the objects orbiting at the extreme edges of the solar system, on which the Sun's gravity is very weak, feel this gravitational pull of galactic tidal waves very strongly. The orbits of these objects slowly get distorted, and strange tilts and eccentricities are created in their orbits.